Hello everyone, welcome to Triple T Thursday. That's tips, tricks, tutorials. I'm your host Shelly, coming at you, also known as Shelly Saves the Day. I'm so excited to be chatting with y'all today. It has been a while and I feel like we have a lot to catch up on. And we're also doing a recap of the Made on YouTube event that just went down in New York yesterday, Pier 57, which I was lucky enough to be invited to attend. This year, I will say there was quite an emphasis on creators. There were quite a few more than the year previous. Let's say there were 20 to 30 creators last year. I feel like this year there were 60. I feel like they tripled the amount of creators that they had, and they really seem to have a large emphasis on how these new tools that they are going to be announcing, or they did announce, are going to be able to help creators of all sizes, beginners, the medium-sized ones, the larger ones, and everyone in between. So I'm really excited to chat with y'all about it. But we have a very important question that we need to get through, which is, of course, what's in your cup in honor of the Made on YouTube event? Because I don't have a YouTube mug, I decided to go with the Central Perk mug of tea, because today we're going to be spilling the tea all about the Made on YouTube event. And also Central Perk was supposed to be, in the village for friends for New York. So cold brew in the cup for Pixelpia. Hello. How are you feeling? Hello, hello. It's nice to see you. It's nice to be back. And I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we're going to be chatting a little bit about the Made on YouTube event. Now, I had my little folder. Let me just make sure that I have it here. I think it's this one. I had it all set up and ready to go, but yeah. All right. So the very first thing that we are going to get into, they are, as they were last year as well, they did seem to lean heavily into a lot of the AI tools that they have available at their disposal. Now, last year, when they had talked a little bit about Dream Screen, remember we did a live demo of that in one of my live streams, and we were talking about how it was able to generate a background of your choosing in various styles, like, claymation, art, that kind of thing. What they're doing with that is they have now upped it a bit. So not only, I know that not everyone has access to Dream Screen as it is now, and now here we are talking about Dream Screen 2.0, but it's an important thing that is going to be eventually rolling out to everyone 2025. Hello, Doug Hewson. Good to see you. Nice to have you here in our chat. So with VO is now this hybrid of not just a little bit of AI, but AI with this automatic ability to first generate one of 4 visual items that you have put in the prompt for, but then it will generate up to a 6-second video. So instead of just a background, which was great, so all of a sudden you're inside of a zoo, or you're, inside of a castle. Now it's you're inside of a castle and the castle is moving about, and it's like 6 seconds of video. So that's really exciting, because later on, if you ask me the question about, okay, well, who owns this? How do you know if it's AI generated? Do you get to keep revenue? I have answers for a lot of that, because I did somewhat corner one of the engineers and people about this particular product, as well as others, once we get into the communities. So we'll be talking about that too. So the first thing, let me see here. I'm going to, as we go through, see if I can successfully drop on images and whatnot provided to us from YouTube, as well as I will try and show you a couple of videos. I think I also downloaded them to the computer about what this looks like. So first, let me see if it's going to do this one. Here we go. Drop in 1, 2, 3. Here we go. So with this, the visual prompt was show me the Golden Gate Bridge and then an underwater scene. So as you're doing this, I don't know why it's so little. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I wish there was a way to just snap it to the boom. There we go. So this little guy here is saying you put in the visual prompt, right? And you're like cinematic, underwater, reel of the Golden Gate Bridge. And so it has 4 different options. You select one, and here we go. We have a 6-second video from your prompt. Now you can then select this one and then drop it down into your timeline, and you can see across the bottom there are these little cinematic styles like which we had tried out before in the live demo when we were trying the dream screen. So hey Lizzie B, good to see you. So here is that one. So I thought that was kind of neat that they have that option. And then, I mean, what do we think about this so far? I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that was Dream Screen version 2.0, right? And so here are some of the different examples that they're about to show us. And the demo that they have is a little bit truncated, obviously, for time. They brought in these little machines. I'm going to show you what it looked like. But the little dress there, they had a demonstration of a video from a designer that was able to put in a whole bunch of visual prompts. You have the ones, Haley Pham was there, and she did an example for book talk, and it was about like, let's talk about the secret garden, and it was like, let me put in these visual cues for you to be able to understand like me talking about this book or scenes or something like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then let me see here, I'm gonna try and use all of the stuff that they gave us. I mean, because they gave it to us, we might as well. Let me see what we've got here. So yeah, these are some of the examples that were outputs from inputs that people put in, you know. So I want a panda drinking coffee or writing on the back of, and they also showed an example of a video where it was a lamb and a dog finding each other and being friends, and I thought that was kind of really funny. So they even did a demonstration kind of live there, and it was about an elk with glowing horns or, you know, antlers walking across the water, something like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let me see if in this output they have something here for us to look at. The announcement, the gallery. I'm just looking here, sorry, what they've given us. So it is basically YouTube AI tool for YouTube Shorts. We gotta use the right language here. We're on YouTube. So, but yes, it is. So you'll be able to generate your own backgrounds. So I thought that was pretty neat. And let me see, I think I've got it now where I can show you a demonstration of the dream. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I do. And this is the thing too, if I drop on the video, it's going to play. It might be really loud, so you may have to turn down your volume. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. So don't come for me. Here we go. Here's the first one. Give it a spin? Yeah, I do.
And you can continue hitting randomize until you find one.
Perfect. Leather boots.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Oh my God.
Create it. Create it.
Boots. You got the YouTube.
Thank you. I mean, it'd be a little bit better if they were sparkly, right? With the lights.
Like with the YouTube logo.
Why is it going to be a guy?
I know. why is YouTube so sexist? Or VO? Why is it so sexist? Why can't there be females in leather boots?
How do you know it's video?
Was the Julia from Channel Makers. So we were talking and the prompt was, hey, show me some leather boots walking on the ground. And so I think it's really funny. Daniel's like, why's it gotta be a guy? I was like, I thought that was funny. But you can see, you can put in a prompt, you're gonna be able to get a 6-second video, and then, you know, maybe you use that inside of one of your reels. Sorry. Oh, see, Lizzie got me doing it too. You're going to be able to put that as a background inside of your YouTube short. Now, it does seem to be that you're going to be able to like maybe daisy chain link these because they had a performance from the artist David, which if you know that song on TikTok and YouTube and everything, that's like the really sad song, and it kind of seems like in the past, and it's like I don't care how long it takes. That song. I don't want to get copyright straight. But that gentleman came in and talked about the use of AI and VO to be able to create like a teaser video for his music video. And it was really beautiful. It's all these like 7 or 6 second clips all strung together. And he was like, I'd basically storyboarded it out in my mind how I wanted this video to look. And it was like reminiscent or very much taking inspiration from the movie Up. And instead of the wife passing away, I wanted to look back in memories of them growing old together. And he was able to create this really moving type of video, basically music video for that song. And it was really beautiful. And he was one of the first people to get to try out VO and use this as an example. So I thought that was really, really cool. Another thing that they're going to be doing is with Dream Screen, that was the backgrounds and video backgrounds now in version 2.0. They're also going to be doing a music thing where instead of just using these people's voices, it was like T-Pain and I think Demi Lovato was one, and having songs with them singing about, silly little things or whatever. I had one where I just found it where it was like, change the batteries in the smoke alarm in the style of T-Pain, which I thought was funny. But now the new iteration in 2.0 will be, you will also be able to do instrumental tracks for YouTube Shorts. And this was actually interesting. So for people who needed a specific type of music or feel or anything like that, and you don't want it in whatever library that you're finding it, here is an example of what that looks like. Here we go. Let me share that with you. Let me drop it on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Creators make unique instrumental soundtracks.
Why can't you see it? Okay, I got to be able to show you my little overlays and see why it's not. Let me see here. VO outputs. I want to be able to see it. And I don't know which one it is. Let me make sure I don't delete the wrong thing. It's not Dream Screen. VO outputs. I gotta make sure I name it the right one. Oh, those are wrong. Those are wrong. I want to delete you. And I want to delete you. And I want to see why. Not that one. Why can I not see this video? Let me come back over here to Ecamm. Where's my stream deck? And it's doing nothing. Let me see here. Dream track. Let me see. Are you going to work this time?
Creators make unique instrumental soundtracks, add to the shorts. So basically how it works and how we're doing for the demo today, you can hit randomize. It will show you the text prompt. You can choose the style of the music genre that you want.
No, I want to try and create something.
Yeah, go ahead and hit randomize. First,
Oh, randomize?
Sorry. Yeah, basically show different ones. You'll go through different styles. So if you like this one, you're going to hit create.
Oh,
So
can
go
I?
ahead and hit randomize.
Okay.
It just like completely cycles through. Like dance class, dance style.
Perfect, that's what I wanted.
So then you hit create.
Oh, yeah.
So to create a 15, 30-second soundtrack, and then show that into the short. So it's part of the whole bringing together music, video content. It's currently available to a limited set of creators in the US, and we'll make it more available later this year.
Can you monetize your shorts with these tracks?
They're eligible for monetization just as normal shorts.
Awesome. So, important question that I asked there at the end, I think, is anything that you're using with this AI type of music, you are still able to monetize off of. So it's not one of those where there's no opportunity to make any money. You do still have the opportunity to make money with items, not only, and I'll just spoil the ending here, for the music tracks, but also for the Dream Screen video tracks made with VO as well. So you'll also be able to still be able to fully monetize shorts as you would. And that is a question that I got to ask Neil Mohan himself during the unaired after the live stream was over. They cut and took questions from the audience, which was like like I said, a mix of creators and then as well as industry professionals and reporters. And I got chosen by Michelle Carre, who was moderating the Q&A session. And she chose me for a question and answer, which I thought was just a fun moment because I got to be one of the people who helped find people and get questions answered for her session at Vid Summit. So I thought that was really fun. So what do we think so far about some of the AI tools that we're seeing? So this is VO and using Dream Track as well as Dream Screen 2.0, which is going to be the video version with 6-second background videos. So I thought that was really, really exciting stuff. Now, I also pulled up notes just like I did last year. Of course I did, because y'all, you know I always have questions. I have questions, right? I have questions. So we have so much more to talk about. But if there are other things that you've heard about so far with the announcements, I would love to know if you want to talk about one of them specifically, and we can jump to that one as well. So the 6-second standalone clips, which are AI generated with VO, you'll be able to find with that same create button after the prompt, just like I did in the live demo of how to use Dream Screen for the background. So it'll be the same type of prompt. It will do the same thing, show you the 4 thumbnails. You'll be able to select one, and then it will generate the 6-second clip, and you'll be able to proceed on. So Dream Track, which is the instrumental versions of music, and then I thought it was really cool. So I told you about David, who came in, showed us a music video, actually performed the song for us as well, which was really, really exciting. Love that. Then we had Bengali Kaba come in, and this is a lot of stuff to cover. Okay, so bear with me. This section is going to be quite long. There are too much excitement, y'all. I put down my iPad. Things are flying all over the room. Okay, so Bengali came up and told us about different ways for community. So remember a couple years ago, they were talking about ways for creators, of course, to be monetized, including memberships and super thanks and all that for creators at 500 or more subscribers, right? That first level, the early level of monetization. This is an interesting, because it's about building community. So the first thing that's happening, community, instead of just community posts or a separate Discord or anything like that, there is actually going to be a communities section within YouTube. So a couple of creators already have it now. More creators are going to be getting this, obviously, but it's basically like your own messaging board for your own community, okay? And there are some entry point things. First of all, someone has to be a subscriber to be able to create content. That means like create a post. And this isn't like I create a community post, y'all comment back on it. This is, I say, show me your kittens, right? Show me your favorite backpack gear and you can submit a photo as a comment. You can start a comment and conversation under whatever. So you're going to be able to cultivate your own like community on YouTube and not in a separate place. Now, as I know right now, it's going to be free. And as I know right now, they're not doing something like, oh, this is like for paid members of my membership, something like that. And a creator can opt in or out of creating or having one. So you don't have to have one. You can have one. Okay. And then another thing is, excuse me, it is going to require some moderation. So for some people, because it could become overwhelming, right? Based on if you have a very active and engaged community, I would be curious to see how that works. Now, if we talk about the fact that I did ask, so after the presentation, not only did I corner Bengali, but then I also cornered, I think his name is Aaron, I have a separate clip of it. I had separate questions like, if you are a children's channel and you currently don't have comments on your videos because it's part of the, COPPA, and they've disabled that, and we still see a lot of children's, made for children's channels that want a place to be able to speak with their community. So I said, could they create a community and finally be able to talk to their people? And Aaron, he's like, as far as I know, it's going to run in parallel with what your channel has. So if your channel has made for kids and doesn't have comments available to it, you would not be able to have a community with people making comments. Hopefully that they align, right? He did say that I asked specifically because I always go back to the negative, like the what ifs that are going to happen. So if you have, let's say, hidden someone from your channel, it doesn't hide them from being able to see your community, because community is public. That's another thing. So it's not like you're going to be able to create it and it's private. It's not a private like Facebook group or something like that. It's public. So anyone who comes across the community. And so depending on if you're a channel that talks about sensitive topics and people are going to be sharing about sensitive topics, there is no privacy setting level that I seem to have heard so far mention of that is going to be implemented. So posts are going to be public for anyone to be able to see them. As long as someone is subscribed, they'll be able to create a piece of content inside of your community. And you're still able to use moderators. And I did ask, do you have to have separate moderators, or do the moderator permissions come over from, let's say you have channel moderators for live streams and whatnot, like Pixelpia is or Doug is? They would also be able to come in and be moderators of the community. How much that permission extends, we don't know yet. They didn't give us all the information about that, but best believe, when they have a blog post and they talk about all that stuff, those are pieces. Hopefully they will explain a little bit more, but those are some of the questions that I had for Aaron specifically after they presented this, because I think it's interesting, but I've got a lot of questions and a lot of concerns around community. Not that my community is bad, but just as a whole within YouTube. And if someone is hidden from your channel, but still subscribed, it is still possible, that they could come into your community and also be making comments. Could they be making comments that are bad against you? And who knows how long they're up before you can delete them, or someone on your moderating team? Yeah, because YouTube doesn't truly have a block function in the same way that a lot of other social media sites do. So it is becoming more of a social media site, but some of those things and interactions, I still have questions about. The ability to DM other community members does not exist. So that is not something that's coming, but it's just, I have questions, right? I have a lot of questions. Okay. So that is one of the first things. The community highlights is going to be, you'll be able to post comments. You'll have AI enhanced reply suggestions using your tone and intonation or type of language. So instead of just the generic thanks, will do, you're welcome, they do say that they're going to be able to look back at the way that you have commented and replied to people and try to model the suggestions of the AI kicking off suggestion replies in your tone of voice. So there's that. Also, by the way, if y'all are enjoying the live stream, will you share this out? Because I'm trying to make one long video, this one, with all the information that we have from Made on YouTube so far. So this would be a good resource, hopefully, for people who want to learn about the updates and don't get everything they got or wanted from that 5-minute video that came out on the channel about it. So I don't know, tweet it, post, I don't know, something. Okay, so the next thing that they have about building community from Bengali is this auto dubbing feature. So if we remember last year, they talked about how there were a few channels that were having the ability to have like multi-tracks, not only just the ability to upload different audio for your, but this one is going to be automatically kind of AI generated, but they're doing something extra special with it eventually when everybody gets it, okay? The auto dubbing, the updates, which will be happening for thousands or hundreds of thousands, if not in the next few months. They did say that. They said it should be expanding in the next few months to hundreds of thousands of channels. So they didn't say how many currently have it, but just to give you an idea, right? We know there's millions and millions of channels, but here's some numbers that we were able to get. What they have is called expressive speech. So instead of just the auto dub sounding like a robot, what they have is the dubbing that will also take into account your tone, inflection, and pacing, and it will sound more like you than just a generic auto dub in another language. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So that is an interesting way of looking at it, because it's so true. It's one to even get it in another language, let's say, but the fact that it's going to be like they're trying to model the expressive speech, I thought that was really, really cool. So that is also happening. Now, the other thing is happening. Okay. I see in my mind, YouTube is taking some of the best features or some of the features, just period, from some of these other platforms, and they're kind of making it and integrating it here. So one of the first ones is going to be called Hype. So HYPE, Hype. And with this, it is basically for videos that are less than 7 days old. So it's only going to be applicable to newly released videos. Okay. You can, instead of just saying to your subscribers and anyone who's watching, hey, please like and comment and subscribe, something like that, you'll be able to add a new thing of your, my body lies over the ocean list of commands for them to do, stand up, sit down, turn around, all the things. You'll be able to ask viewers to hype your video. Viewers are allowed to hype 3 videos per week. And with that, it is only available to channels that have less than 500,000 subscribers. So if you're a channel with less than 500,000 subscribers, you made a video and released it within the last 7 days, and you can encourage your viewers to hype your video and use one of their 3 for the week or for the day. The videos with the most amount of hypes will go on to a separate little leaderboard that is a separate part of the YouTube page. So you kind of like the trending pages, you'll be able to go to a specific page that are like most hyped videos today. Okay. And so it's possible that where you always see channels and videos and you're like, I don't know how you don't have 1 million subscribers. I don't know who hasn't seen this video yet. And like here before 1 million views or whatever it is, you can basically say, hey, if you feel that way about this video, please hype my video. And maybe it will be seen by more people. I think it's great that this is a feature that is available only to the people with less than 500,000 subscribers. I would be curious to see who that, it surfaces to the top with hype. So it could be great, but it could also be used as a web. We don't know, right? But it seems like a good idea. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So that was hype. The next thing that they have, let me just see here, top 100. So the top 100 videos will be in a list for daily hypes, right? 5 million. Oh, okay. So they had run a test and experiment on this, and they had 5 million hypes across 50,000 different channels. So it was really interesting to see lots of different audiences. This was tested, I believe, it was international in a smaller market. So I just thought that was fascinating that they did that. And then, so it was Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and okay, nope, this is a new subject. Next was Thomas Kim. Okay, so Thomas Kim is, he talked about the integration with shopping. They're bringing on more shopping partners all the time. They were talking about how Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam are all integrating and available with Shopee, which is kind of like their shopping platform that integrates with YouTube. So those 3 countries on the day, which was yesterday of the announcement, those 3 countries are now available to integrate and start getting the shopping tab as well. So that was exciting. And then live streaming, 20%. Okay, so they had sales from live stream. So I think this is interesting because this is very much kind of like a TikTok integration. I will say I don't think anyone has mastered live selling on vertical video quite like TikTok has yet. I would be curious to see how YouTube runs this in the future, but wow, does TikTok make it easy. I saw a video from Tati Westbrook and she sold almost $1 million worth of product. They were doing giveaways. They had on-screen gifts. They had special times like sales. it was so easy to shop. It was insane, like free shipping and stuff, like discounts. All the stores were in on it. Like it was crazy. Here's Cooper, if y'all have missed him. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Okay, so the next thing that YouTube, I feel, has borrowed from another platform is going to be like Twitch bits, or like a combination of Twitch bits and live gifts from TikTok. So interestingly enough, this is only going to be available for... Are you all right? Are you okay? This is only going to be available for vertical live streaming. Vertical live streaming is going to be happening. People will be able to buy jewels, okay? Which is kind of like Twitch bits. And then you'll be able to use those jewels to purchase gifts on screen. Which, how it's that different from a super chat or super thanks or something during a live stream, I couldn't fully tell you, except for maybe you can give a lot less because it's smaller increments. So you can now start to see little things pop up on screen, like, you know, here's a birdie or a solar system, and based on how long they stay on screen, how big they are, it costs you more and more jewels. Hopefully that makes sense, and you understand what I'm saying. We'll see. I do have a little video here about, I think, the gifts. Let me see if it's going to play something. Here we go. Away. So I think that's interesting. And then let me show you, here is another example of what that... I mean, I don't know. For people who do a lot of vertical live, there was no audio. Unless you're saying that there was no audio for me as well, and you couldn't hear me. But yeah, hopefully you kind of see the little items pop up on screen. You'll be able to select them, and hopefully the person will acknowledge it, see it. One never knows. Okay. So that was kind of... that information. Now, another thing that we also talked about is that we're kind of borrowing inspiration from. They talked a lot, which I think is so funny. So here we have this big focus on shorts stuff, right? So here's music for shorts, and here's backgrounds for shorts. And now we're going to get into the long videos and the push into the televisions in homes. So one, they said that views on televisions are, across the different surfaces, one of their fastest growing categories. So you have this split. You have shorts doing fantastically well, and then you got a lot of people watching a lot of stuff in long form. So they're talking about different ways that you can still make money, but still optimize an experience for the live stream, or I'm sorry, for the long videos on YouTube. So one of the first things that they're doing with this is they're making some changes with, if it's a video that is going to be surfaced on a television and whatnot, there's going to be ways for the TV and YouTube to understand that a link can be generated into a QR code. I know that sounds like weird, but I'm saying that as you're watching a video, you go to the description, you see a link, which you can't click because you're watching on television. It's going to have a QR code pop up on the screen, and it's going to create QR codes from links inside the description that will be displayed on your television so that you can point your phone at it and then go to it. What? I mean, so you buy jewels and then spend them on gifts. That is correct. You buy packs of jewels. So it might be like 500 jewels for, I'm making up numbers, I don't know, 500 jewels for $5. And so you could see something and it's like 20 joules. So technically, you know, you're giving someone maybe 20 cents, but like you're buying a pack of, yeah, exactly. So I thought, one, that's really interesting the way that they're doing that. Number two, another thing that they're doing is, you know, if you are surfing on Netflix and you're hovering over a thumbnail, it starts to play the videos, and then you're kind of thinking about, oh, maybe I should watch, you know, and how often do you get sucked in and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's start watching this. They're doing that for YouTube channels. So here is an example of, I guess, kind of what that looks like. Let me drop this on screen here. Kind of that experience, right? So we have that. And then we have, let me see if this is going to show you kind of, again, like I said, if you have videos that are more episodic in nature, that kind of go one into another, they're creating like seasons. So you'll be able to binge someone's channel, like Michelle Carre with all of her Challenge Accepted as the television show, and then each video being like a season. If she wants you to watch them in a specific order, which a lot of her slow in a specific order, you're going to have this episodic content represented as a season on the surface of YouTube television, and you'll be able to kind of go through and click and start watching. So now we are starting to look like Netflix, right? Which makes sense because a lot of people, like, if you think of like Michelle Carre, that could be a series on Netflix. That, like, she is the perfect example of something like that. So absolutely. I think we talked a little bit about, yes, we talked about the GIFs. We talked about the cinematic channels. We're coming back into the community stuff, right? So let's talk about communities. Let me show you the video that they have for you. All of your pictures about camping, right? So they have that so that you can kind of start conversations, and yes, you can do the polls. You'll be able to make the, you know, the comments and stuff, but you could still have other people contributing to the items as well. So that seems like it could be kind of cool. We'll see how it goes, right? So let me throw this on here and show you. You're going to be able to come in and see who's been, you know, maybe most active on your channel. Maybe you shout them out. I don't know. But it also shows like how many comments, and you can click, and I'm hoping that maybe it will take you to their comments. I think that would be really, really cool. They haven't given us as much information about that, but I think it's interesting. Okay. Did we talk about the hypes? Let me just make sure and drop it on so you can at least see what they're Oh, there's no audio in it. Sorry. So that is the interface of what it looks like when you're doing hypes and what that looks like. So yeah, let me see if they have an example of this expressive speech, and hopefully the audio will play. You'll have to let me know. So I'm going to play it. You tell me in the comments if the audio is coming through. All right. So remember we talked about expressive speech. This is the I talk, and then the auto dub in the next language talks, but with my same tone and inflection. This is really special. Hold on. Here we go.
Soluções para problemas tecnológicos, e com isso a gente aprende e vocês também. Só que uma coisa é achar a solução, a outra coisa é implementar, botar isso para acontecer na prática. For us to create solutions to technological problems, and with that we learn, and so do you. But one thing is finding the solution, the other thing is implementing it, making it happen in practice.
I mean, come on. That sounds pretty good to me. Like, what do y'all think about that? I think that one is really, really cool. So the fact that they have, I mean, hold on. They got one more video for you. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, they're just saying that you can opt in or out of the auto dubbing, and you can wait to preview it first before you publish it, or you just trust YouTube and say, go ahead. So I think that's actually really special. Really, really special. So let me see here. The cinematic channels, we talked about that. We talked about the QR codes that they didn't show that. I thought they might do that. Babish. They did have a thing, though, that shows, like, they see a link, they pop up a QR code. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe they don't have a video for that one though. Okay, so now, one of the biggest takeaways that they did want us to talk about, or that Neil, when asked, like, hey, you've announced a lot of stuff today. What's like the biggest thing that you want to really have people walk away from this presentation feeling or like knowing about? And he's like, really, the word is opportunity. Okay. The opportunity is going to be, to create how you want to, even if you know, this is all coming up off your phone, right? For all of the dream screen stuff. He's like, you're going to be able to create how you want to, or you're going to be able to make money how you want to, or if you want to make, you know, long episodic stuff, you're going to be able to be surfaced on these platforms and in a cinematic way that still is going to allow you to be able to make money by having people scan the codes and stuff. And it's just fascinating. It's all about the opportunity for you to choose your own adventure when it comes to YouTube and the ways that you want to build your community if you want to, or to try and make money. I was a little disappointed that they never touched and broached on courses, right? They talked about that a bit, and we have yet to really see the full rollout and implementation of what that looks like. I want to. And then we went into a Q&A section with creators and the press. So the first question, Andrew Edwards, our friend here in Seattle, was about the AI loop of AI answers and questions. Oh, okay. So he was like, how do you guys make sure that if AI is being used to generate these things, and then you generate the things, and then it's just not, you know, you're using that as then a model for more stuff, and it's just going to be feeding itself because of the AI already that came before, not because of that was the right answer. And they're like, they have a lot to talk about when it comes to responsible use of AI. So one of the things that they talked about, which was clarified more when Roberto Blake asked his question, and it's about something called synth ID. And with synth ID, it's almost kind of like copyright ID is to music, but synth ID is to AI content. So two things. One, similar to if I use the kind of like magic erase and move feature inside of the Samsung photos, there's like a little watermark that says generated by AI, right? So if you're using Dream Screen, there is going to be like the little flag that says like, hey, generated or made with AI. I don't know if they can recognize if something's already done. They'll pre-click that button, not only, you know, in the back end, which is, use of AI on this thing. You would think if it was already created with Dream Screen in some way that they would know that and they could correspondingly check that button for you. I don't know, but we'll find out more as we go along. But then the other thing is it's entered into Synth ID, and my question, which was somewhat towards the beginning, was because the output, excuse me, I'm so sorry. The output is based on what you give it as input. I could just take someone else's input and also put it in, and I don't even know what the outcome is, but like, who owns this output? And can you monetize this? And so for their part, I mean, they tried their best to answer the question. There's basically, it's your prompt, it's your content. So therefore, you're the one who's going to be able to monetize it. So can you monetize it? Yes. Yes, you can. Is it still kind of yours because you're the one who did the prompt? I mean, they're saying kind of yes, but also it's like, does it really belong to us? It's kind of like weird, right, in that way. But technically they're saying, yes, you can still monetize off it, whether it's music. You can monetize if it's the video. Interesting stuff, okay? Then there was they're saying it still belongs to you because the prompt came from you. Okay, so that was my question. And then there was a lot of questions around the controlling groups. This was not as part of the public Q&A. This was separately. So there was that. There was, most of which I've already told you. There was a lot of stuff for dancers, music, and availability of, okay, so there's still a problem, right? If you are someone who has to use music, it's usually with the music publishing houses more so than YouTube and having to be compliant with them. So that particular question was around someone who was a choreographer or like maybe a dance performer. And I was like, yeah, it's tough because I've seen, y'all know, with dance performances, buddy, okay? There's, we want to be able to put out the choreography or something or like the dance performance, but every one of those videos, you run the risk of maybe copyright strike or, you're never going to make any money. So for some people, you start to see them do stuff like, okay, so let me teach you how to do the dance with just counts and audio. Is a tutorial, a long video, and then you can do a short video that can be monetized because it's integrated into the music shelf, hopefully. And so you can have a 60-second demo of the dance and then lead it to a related video that is the tutorial for it. And then the third video is going to be you performing, let's say, this dance, and that video is never going to be monetized. But you have to be smart enough to pull that section of the video from the long tutorial so that it doesn't kill the monetization option of the long video. Hopefully that makes sense. So right now there is no better way. It seems like you have to have 3 different videos, right? Maybe the short to get the attention, maybe the performance video, maybe the tutorial. And so there wasn't really a clear better answer for that. And that I think has to do more so with music than it has to do with YouTube as a publisher. So questions, comments, concerns that we have from y'all about that. What is the feature that you're most excited for? Right, we've got the GIFs as a recap. We got GIFs. We've got the which are only available in vertical live streams. We've got the auto dubbing with the expressive speech. So those are 2 separate things. One is auto dubbing and the availability. 2 is the expressive speech and the ability to kind of mimic intonation and pacing and whatnot. Then we have the smaller creators under 500,000, the ability to have the hype program. One thing I thought was pretty interesting, they did talk about some numbers saying that in the last 3 years, I think it was, alone, creators on YouTube have made over $70 billion. $billion. That's crazy. I just think that's crazy. Hi, buddy. I'm going to hold you for a second, okay? Everyone? Yes. Everybody's missed him. Everyone's missed the tongue. All right. So the hype feature is coming out. The cinematic preview is coming out. The episodic content for surfaces on televisions and the scannable QR codes is coming out. We also have the communities section coming out. We have yet to hear anything more about the courses, but I know that's a very small section of people who probably need that. But I'm curious to know, what do you guys think about, what do you think about all this so far? And what feature are you most excited for? Communities is your top pick? Okay. Oh, yes, and then I'm sorry. Of course, we have to talk Dream Screen 2.0, Dream Track 2.0. Hi. Oh, there is something that we haven't talked about yet, and that is the inspiration tab. That is something actually, the last section that we need to talk about is the inspiration tab. So let me see if I can go back. I think that's under the creation. So the inspiration tab, let me pop this up on screen here. So if you didn't see that, there's basically going to be a section inside of your YouTube studio. So instead of just the inspiration, they're really amping it up with things like you can put in a prompt, or and it can come up with ideas for thumbnails. It can come up with some outline points if you want. It could help you come up with title suggestions. And sometimes it's based on, obviously your channel, your content, or it can be based on a prompt. So it's really breaking down that mental block of, I don't know what to create. I don't know what my audience wants from me. And it really is trying to take away the fear and debilitating numbness and paralysis that comes with staring at a blank page, being like, what is my next video? What's my next outline? What's my next script? What's my next storyboard? And you're going to be able to basically have AI be an assistant to, oh, here's maybe a video idea for you. And so in that example, they were talking about and you could take the idea and just run with it and make it your own, or you can go through and kind of point by point, have it come up with some talking points for you. So I thought that was an interesting way to help creators who might not know, what is the next thing I should make, or how could I make this my own? Or, there are times when we've all sat there and been like, I just don't know what the next video is. I don't know what my next idea is. And there you go. So the inspiration tab is pretty interesting. And like I said, you can do a prompt yourself, or you can get ideas. So I just thought that was interesting. And I already have plenty of inspiration, just need time to create all the videos. You know what? Yeah, true that. So that is everything as a recap from the Made on YouTube event that just happened. Again, big thanks to YouTube for bringing me out. I thought it was really interesting. They seemed very encouraging, and they really wanted to hear from creators, ideas, and they wanted to hear what are you liking? What do you want to see? So I think it's encouraging. They're definitely trying, they're listening, they're looking for tons of ways to help all of the creators of all sizes and making money, right? So I think there's a little bit of everything in there, a little bit of something for everybody is what I'm trying to say. So, ACS is in the house. Good to see ya. You know what? You get a special puppy shot just for you. Hold on, buddy. I got to show you off. Here we go. You get a special puppy shot just for you. Because thanks for being here. Yes. Yeah, aren't you so excited? He was here. Okay. So, I'm so excited that I could share this with y'all. Fascinating stuff, and I think that 2025 is going to be quite a year to be a creator and a YouTuber, in so many ways that they're trying to make it so that you can stand out, or be inspired, or be able to really run with ideas that maybe you wouldn't have been able to before because you didn't have the money, but you did have the imagination, right? So, hi, buddy. Oh, he likes your tongue. He likes your tongue. Yeah. He says, because I don't have teeth anymore. Yeah, I'm going to put you right here. Okay. So thanks everyone for hanging out with me. I'm so excited that I was able to share this information with you. Hopefully you found it helpful and you got to hear about some new features that are coming down the pike. We'll definitely be making some videos, including, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you about a video that I made that was like a YouTube short. It's 58 seconds, y'all. And it made me $10,000. It made me over $10,000. So don't ever think that one video can't change your life. That one video that I made, I will tell you, helped me to meet Drew Barrymore, James McAvoy, and gets me an international trip. So that is a story for another video. I can't wait to share it with y'all. I hesitated about actually sharing this story, but I'm going to. So this happened in this last week, and I'm pretty excited about it to tell you the story. So I hope you have an amazing night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in a video very soon. Good night, all.